Okay.
Hi everybody. In this video, I'm going to try to show you some unconventional approaches to shark photography. Either unique angles or perspectives with a wide angle lens, or even trying a macro lens to get close-up images of its mouth, teeth, or eyes. Let's check it out. I found this lemon shark resting on the seafloor and took a wide angle shot with my dome port very close to the shark. Now, I never touch or harass the animal, and if it moves away, I just back off and leave it alone. I slowly approach this shark, taking occasional shots to let it get adjusted to my strobes. I pulled my strobes in tight to illuminate its nose, though the center is still a little dark and I should have angled the strobes in a little bit more. I used the usual settings of manual mode, shutter speed 1 to 200ths of a second, ISO 100, but I made my aperture much smaller to f22 to try to get very good depth of field, and I focused right on the tip of its nose. I took one shot, backed off, and swam away, and I actually kind of like this. It's a unique perspective. Now, this is another wide-angle image taken from directly behind the shark with my dome port almost touching its tail. It's definitely a different perspective. I set up my SLR with a 60mm macro lens to try to attempt some eye shots of sharks. However, I also took a few profile images with this lens. This is a lemon shark, and this is a profile image of a Caribbean reef shark. This is a profile image taken with a macro lens of a shark with a cleaning pilotfish. This is another macro shot of a lemon shark, this time showing its teeth, which is kind of interesting. And this is a different shark at a little higher power, showing its teeth. Now this is one of my favorite images, a side view of the mouth and teeth, taken with my 60mm macro lens. I flipped down the +10 wet diopter to get a closer view yet. Very interesting. Look at all those beautiful teeth. Now, of course, I had to try to get some shark eye images. My dive buddy snapped a photo of me approaching a resting lemon shark. I planned on backing off if the shark looked at all stressed, and I never touched it. I pointed one strobe up, the green arrow, which essentially renders it functionless, and I positioned the other strobe, the red arrow, the one providing all the illumination, at an acute angle to try to emphasize texture and topography of the eye. And here you can see its beautiful eye and the vertically oriented slit-like pupil. A pupil that can constrict to a slit can adapt to a high range of illumination, and predatory animals also often have vertical slit pupils. This is a side view of the eye showing the convex iris contour over the underlying spherical lens. I flipped my +10 wet diopter lens over the flat port to get this super macro shot of the lower pupil and iris. An interesting irregular notch can be seen at the lower border of the slit-like pupil, and I do not know the significance of this notch. This super macro shot of the eye with marked oblique tangential illumination using only one strobe really emphasizes the texture and topography of the iris detail of this shark. Well, I hope you found this video interesting. Keep in mind that after you get some decent conventional images of sharks, it might be interesting to go for a unique perspective or even try some macro shots of these beautiful animals. Thank you so much for your attention.